me, your host, James the Food Man, and today we're going to make some awesome risotto. Alright, now if you want to see how to make an awesome risotto like that, you got to watch the rest of this video. And before you watch the rest of the video, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell icon, and when you're done the video, and after you've made the meal, why don't you write a comment? Let me know how you made it, what you did different, what you did the same. And you can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Alright, now with all that out of the way, let's talk about ingredients. So first, I have a cup of Albireo rice. Behind me, getting hot, I've got 4 cups of beef stock. Why beef stock? Well, because we're going to have some beef tenderloin with this, as you can tell from the awesome picture earlier. I got some Havarti cheese. I got some farmhouse cheddar cheese. We have some snow peas, some butter, some white wine, and of course, the aforementioned beef tenderloin right here. Now I'll take you over to the stove and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I have my pot preheated, and the first thing we're going to do, since we're having this with beef tenderloin, is we're going to sear the beef tenderloin in here. Now beef tenderloin is a very tender cut of beef, but there's not a lot of flavor in it because there's not a lot of intermuscular fat. So I put a generous amount of kosher salt, black pepper, and garlic powder on here. Okay, and we're going to develop a bit of a crust in the pot before we cook our rice in here. So I have this on a medium-high heat, and all I want to do now is make myself a little crust. I'm going to flip it in about 2 or 3 minutes, and I'm going to cook it for about 2 or 3 minutes on the other side. So that means I'll see you in about 4 to 6 minutes. Okay, so you can see I've got some browning on my fillets. I'm just going to throw them on this cooling rack, on this baking sheet, and I'm just going to toss them in the oven. Now, as for this, we're going to grab a wooden spoon. I know I own one somewhere, because I put it in the drawer today. Alright, I found my wooden spoon, so what we're going to do, we're going to turn the heat back on, go on a medium heat. We're going to pour a cup of white wine in there. We're going to grab our wooden spoon, and we're going to deglaze this. We're going to get all the fond and all the little bits and pieces and goodness, all that brown meaty bits there. We're going to get that off the bottom of this pan, out of this pot. That's why I did it in this pot here. So what we're going to do with this, and I didn't want to do a lot of dishes, that's why I did it in the pot really. So what we're going to do with this, after we deglaze this, which is basically fancy speak for clean the pot out with a spoon and a liquid. You could do this with your stock, but I'm doing it with the wine. Alright. So we got that more or less deglazed, satisfactory speaking there. So we're going to shut this off. We're going to pour it back in our measuring cup. We're going to use this in a couple minutes. What we're going to do is we're going to drop some butter in here. So we'll put the heat back on. Okay, we're on a medium. We drop a bit of butter in here, and if you were going to fry up some onions or some garlic or some shallots, now would be the time to do it. But those of you who've been watching the channel for a while know that camera wife Heather really doesn't like onions. And some of you say happy wife, happy life. I think happy spouse, happy house. A little more applicable there, because us men need to be happy too. Okay, so now we got the butter melted. We have our 1 cup. 1 cup of Albireo rice just went in. We're working on a medium-high heat, and we're going to toast this. And once you start risotto, you don't stop. So now we are that's where we're at. We've started. So we're going to start stirring this up here. We're going to toast it. We're going to put a little light color on the rice. That's what's going to make it taste awesome. So this is going to take me a couple minutes. Haven't decided if I'm going to time lapse this so you can watch my hand spin super fast, or if I'm just going to cut ahead. We'll figure that out in editing, but for now, I'm just going to stir up this rice. Alright guys, my pan is starting to darken up. So, what we're going to do, we're going to go with our wine first, our deglazed wine. And just so you see the color difference, that's the white wine we used. That's how it looks after we use it to deglaze. So we're going to put slightly more than half the cup in there at first. And boy, did that boil up right away. But if you look, it's almost all gone. It's basically dried up. That's how thirsty Albireo rice is. And that's why risotto tastes so awesome, because it sucks everything up. So we're going to splash it with the rest of that wine now. And that's really going to fortify the beef stock that we're using, that the fond from browning our fillets. Okay, I know I said you don't leave once you start putting liquids in, but if you heard it in the background, it was my Nest smoke detector saying, smoke detected in the hallway. And we just switched to that last week. So I was able to pause the video, run down the hall, jump up and hit the button to silence the smoke alarm without it going off and waking up the baby. So, awesome on technology. But look what's happened. All that wine's basically gone. It looks a little slimy-ish, you might say. A little moist, but there's the cup of wine's already gone. So, we had our beef stock simmering, and we're just going to pour in. There were 4 cups in here, so I poured in a 4th. So that is 1/4, and that's what we're going to do now. We're just going to stir this. And lights, camera, and action. Okay, so after what seemed like an eternity of stirring, I have a nice thick risotto here. And I'm going to go put it on the plate, and we're going to garnish it with its meat and beans. I'll get back to you then. Cut. Now if I can direct your attention to the left. Oh, I have set up a steamer over the beef stock. And that's where I'm going to toss my snow peas. Put a lid on those. And when I need to lift this out of the way to get some stock, I'll do that. I'll pour some stock in. But for now, I've got some stock steaming my snow peas. Because I'm just going to stir up this rice. It'll take a few minutes. That's basically all you do now with Jamaican risotto at this point. Just keep on stirring it. I'm trying to dirty as little things as possible while making dinner. Alright, so now our pot is starting to look like, hey, where'd all that stock go? It's starting to dry up again. So now at this point, I'm going to shut this off so I don't catch anything on fire with my rags. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to pour about another cup in. So that should be half of my stocks in there now. Put my beans back on. And we're just going to keep stirring this. I'll be back to you in a few more minutes. Okay, we are about ready for some more stock. And in case you're wondering, I've taken the beef out of the oven. The tenderloin is about 130 degrees right now. So, I'm going to pour in the rest of the stock. Okay, we'll sit the beans just on the back now, that they're just in there. Okay, I might have rushed it a tad bit. Maybe I should have did it in 2 more halves. But the show must go on. Really, I think as long as you get the first, as long as you don't do it all at once, like, because I went quarter, quarter, half, and really I did a cup of wine first too, so I did half a cup, cup, 2 cups. So I feel as long as you're stepping it up like that, you're doing a lot better on the rice than if you had thrown it all in at once, obviously, which would not be a risotto method. And I think you can get away with bigger step-ups like that at the end, especially with a lot of little steps, like because we went half, cup, 2 cup. I feel like that's okay. So I'm just going to keep my heat. I want to keep it just below boiling. And I'll get back to you in a couple minutes once this has sucked up all of that stock. Okay guys, now you're going to see that right here, we're getting so close. Let me turn that vent off for a second. Where's the vent? Oh, the microwave won't actually let me turn the vent off. When it gets to be hot enough in here, it won't shut off. So, you can see though, that basically we've come together now. So we're gonna put in some cream. We got this 10% cream. I would like to put 18 or 35 in there. That was about a quarter cup, but 10% is what I happen to have in the house. So we're going to stir that in. And we're also going to grab that cheese. And I shredded the Havarti, but that cave-aged cheddar, that's what it was. That was product of England, cave-aged 14-month-old cheddar. So that was more crumbly than anything. So we're just going to drop that in here. Now some people are going to sit there and say, when you're making risotto, you have to use Parmigiano Reggiano. You know what I say to them? I say, stick it in your eye. Because I just put Havarti and English cheddar in mine. And you know why I did that? Because that's what I like. Now that looks like an ungodly soupy mess. I know. But the cream is going to suck into it the same way that the wine and the stock did. So now we're just going to keep on stirring it while it sucks itself back into looking like rice. Well, it's going to look like a cheesy, ricey mess because I put so much cheese in it. And I'll tell you how much cheese back at the start of the video. Those are both 200-gram blocks, so I'll throw them on the scale when I'm finished here, and I'll put it in the ingredient list there, exactly what it was. Okay. So I'm just going to keep on stirring this till it comes together, and I'll see you when I got it finished. Okay, now how does it hold up? Well, you can see it's staying on my fork. There's a lot of, it looks like there's a lot of liquid here, and that's because of the cream and the cheese. Oh, that's to die for. That is amazing, and we got the beef here. And the nice thing with the beef is you don't need a gravy with this because you can just run the beef around in the risotto. And our tender steamed snow peas. Everything on this plate is amazing. So, now that you know how to cook this up, make one for yourself. Go down in the comments, type away what you did different, what you did the same, how you like to eat risotto. And remember, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so YouTube gives you notifications when I post new videos. And until I see you next week, I've been James the Food Man.